The Luton tragedy, the story of Nicholas Prosper. It was a quiet Friday morning, September 13th, 2024, in Luton, England. But what began as an ordinary day soon turned into one of the most horrifying crimes in the country's recent history. 18-year-old Nicholas Prosper committed an unthinkable act. He murdered his own family. His mother, Juliana, age 48, his 13-year-old sister, Giselle, and his 16-year-old brother, Kyle, were all killed inside their home in the early hours of the morning. The weapon he used was a double-barreled shotgun. Each family member suffered fatal gunshot wounds to the head. Kyle endured even more. Over 100 knife wounds were found on his body. This was not a random outburst of rage. It was the first step in a carefully planned massacre Nicholas had been preparing for more than a year. Police later uncovered his larger plan. After killing his family, he intended to carry out a mass shooting at his old primary school, St. Joseph's Catholic Primary School in Luton. He had studied its layout, noted its security, and planned to kill as many as 30 people before taking his own life. Thankfully, that part of his plan never happened. Nicholas was arrested before reaching the school. In March 2025, he was sentenced to life imprisonment with a minimum of 49 years. The murders shocked the entire nation. Britain has not experienced a mass school shooting since the Dunblane Massacre of 1996, though police have stopped several planned attacks in recent years. Nicholas's crime stood out not only for its brutality, but also for the disturbing level of planning behind it. To understand how such horror unfolded, one must look at the Prosper family's background. Juliana Prosper was born in Mar del Plata, Argentina, in 1976. She later moved to England, where she married Ray Prosper and had 4 children. By 2024, Juliana was living with 3 of them, including Nicholas, in a flat on Wardsbank Drive. Nicholas was born on December 18, 2005. As a child, he was quiet and shy, often more interested in computers than social life. Teachers and friends described him as intelligent but withdrawn. As he grew older, he became increasingly isolated. Some observers believed he showed traits similar to autism spectrum disorder, but experts later confirmed this had nothing to do with his crimes. What drove him was far darker: an obsession with violence and death. Online, Nicholas's behavior became more alarming. He was banned from one website after posting disturbing comments about death. Investigators found that he had developed a fixation with school shootings, especially the Sandy Hook massacre in the United States. He even said he wanted to kill 30 people to surpass the death toll of other shooters. Criminologists later linked his mindset to other family murders and mass attacks, showing how some killers become obsessed with fame and attention. Nicholas's chosen date, Friday the 13th, was deliberate, chosen for its dark symbolism. His target, St. Joseph's Primary School, was familiar territory. He hadn't been bullied there, but he believed the location would make his attack easier. In August 2024, Nicholas tried to buy a gun but failed. Undeterred, on September 12th, the day before the murders, he succeeded. He bought a double-barreled shotgun and 100 cartridges for £650 using a fake firearms license he had designed himself after researching official documents, logos, and even paper quality. The forgery was so convincing that the dealer accepted it. Although the dealer informed police of the purchase, Nicholas wasn't stopped in time. That same day, his online activity became even darker. He searched for ways to kill using a shotgun, read about necrophilia, and looked up details of the Sarah Everard murder, another crime that had shocked the UK. In the early hours of the following morning, he uploaded a video online declaring himself a follower of Clementine, a character from the Walking Dead video game. He spoke with hatred toward his sister Giselle, even making twisted references to her while discussing the game. Prosecutors later said these details reflected his detached and disturbed state of mind. From midnight until about 4:30 a.m., Nicholas stayed awake watching violent videos and testing his weapon. He even fired a shot at a teddy bear in his room. His original plan was to kill his family while they slept, hoping that firing 3 shots within 30 seconds would go unnoticed by neighbors. But things didn't go as planned. His mother, Juliana, woke up and saw him with the gun. A violent struggle followed. She fought desperately, receiving multiple knife wounds before Nicholas shot her in the head. Her body was later found in the hallway. The noise woke Giselle, who ran from her room. Nicholas shot at her, grazing her head. She tried to hide under a dining table, but he followed and shot her in the face. Meanwhile, Kyle grabbed a knife to defend himself, but Nicholas shot him in the chest and then stabbed him over 100 times before finally shooting him in the head. Neighbors reported hearing loud bangs and cries around 5 a.m. One woman even approached the flat to complain about the noise, but fled when she heard another gunshot. At 5:29 a.m., the first emergency call was made. When police entered the flat, they found all three bodies, blood everywhere, and several knives scattered across the rooms. On Juliana's body lay a chilling book, How to Kill Your Family. By that time, Nicholas had already left. He walked towards St. Joseph's School, carrying the reloaded shotgun and 33 extra cartridges in a bag. When he saw police activity nearby, he hid in a wooded area for over 2 hours. He later uploaded another video online and discarded 2 mobile phones. Eventually, he abandoned the gun and ammunition in nearby bushes. At 7:55 a.m., Nicholas came out of hiding and flagged down a police car. Covered in blood, he calmly told officers that he was the one they were looking for. As they arrested him, he kept repeating, "It's not murder." Thus ended a tragedy that shocked an entire nation. A story of a young man consumed by darkness, whose calculated violence destroyed his family and nearly led to even greater horror. The trial and sentence of Nicholas Prosper. After the shocking murders in Luton, the investigation quickly uncovered the full extent of Nicholas Prosper's crimes. He was charged with 3 counts of murder, illegally purchasing a shotgun, possessing that weapon, and carrying a bladed article in public. During the investigation, police also found indecent images of children on his phone. However, given the gravity of the killings, no extra charges were pursued for those discoveries. When officers arrested him, Nicholas was dressed in bright yellow and black clothes. Prosecutors later said this was not random. It was his way of creating a kind of personal uniform, a symbol meant to make him stand out and be remembered. On September 16, 2024, Nicholas appeared in court for the first time. As he was led away, his father, Ray Prosper, cried out in despair, "I still love you, son. It's not your fault." The courtroom fell silent at the heartbreaking moment, showing the deep pain and confusion left behind by the tragedy. The trial was originally set for December 5th, but was postponed until March 3, 2025. Before the hearings began, on February 24th, Nicholas pleaded guilty to all charges, including the murders of his mother Juliana, his brother Kyle, and his sister Giselle. What made the case even more chilling was what came next. Through his writings in prison and during conversations, Nicholas showed no real remorse. Instead of expressing regret for the lives he had taken, he said he was sorry only for not killing more people. His words shocked even experienced investigators, revealing just how detached and dangerous his mindset had become. On March 19, 2025, Mrs. Justice Chima Grubb handed down the final sentence: life imprisonment with a minimum term of 49 years. At first, Nicholas refused to attend court to hear his punishment, but the judge ordered that he be brought in. During sentencing, she described his actions as planned, calculated, and utterly without mercy. The following day, the case was referred to the Attorney General under the unduly lenient sentence scheme, as many believed 49 years was not enough for such a horrific crime. Critics, including conservative Shadow Justice Minister Kieran Mullen, questioned how a man who murdered 2 children and planned a mass school shooting could escape a whole life order. Mullen asked, "What exactly does someone have to do in this country to be sent away for life?" However, Bedfordshire's Police and Crime Commissioner, John Tizard, defended the judge's decision, stating that the sentence was fair and reflected the seriousness of the crimes. On July 16, 2025, the Court of Appeal reviewed the case and upheld the 49-year minimum term, rejecting calls for a harsher punishment. The Prosper case remains one of the most disturbing in modern British history. A tragedy that combined family murder with a nearly realized plan for mass violence. What might have become one of the largest school massacres in the 21st century was narrowly prevented by Nicholas's arrest. Still, for the surviving family, the people of Luton, and the nation, the wounds run deep. 3 innocent lives, Juliana, Giselle, and Kyle, were lost in a moment of unimaginable cruelty. Their father, Ray, now lives with a grief few could bear, forced to love a son who destroyed everything he held dear. The story of Nicholas Prosper is a haunting reminder of how darkness can grow unseen, and how one act of evil can change countless lives forever. The case of Nicholas Prosper shocked a nation and left a family shattered. For more true crime updates and investigations, subscribe and turn on notifications.